Barrett Oliver. Barrett Oliver first captivated audiences in the 1980s with his roles in beloved films like The Never-Ending Story and D.A.R.Y.L., where his youthful charm and talent shone brightly. However, as the pressures of Hollywood mounted, he chose to step away from acting, citing a desire for a more authentic life and a focus on his passion for photography and writing. Today, Oliver is known less for his childhood fame and more for his work as an author and a fine art photographer, residing away from the limelight. While his early career remains a nostalgic touchstone for fans, he now embraces a quieter existence, deeply engaged in his artistic pursuits and personal interests. Jennifer Grey. Once a household name celebrated for her role in the iconic film Dirty Dancing, Jennifer Grey became synonymous with the pressures of fame, facing public scrutiny and a dramatic shift in her career following a highly publicized nose job that altered her appearance. Over time, the relentless spotlight became overwhelming, prompting her to step back from leading roles in Hollywood. Today, Grey embraces a more private life, engaging in projects that reflect her passion for storytelling while maintaining a lower profile. Her journey highlights the complexities of celebrity culture and the personal choices that can lead to a more fulfilling, albeit quieter, existence away from the glitz and glamour. Kelly McGillis. In the 1980s, Kelly McGillis soared to fame with iconic roles in films like Top Gun and Witness, where her striking presence and talent captivated audiences. However, as the decades passed, McGillis chose to step back from the Hollywood limelight, prioritizing her personal life and health. Publicly, she has spoken about her struggles with the pressures of fame and her desire for privacy, leading her to embrace a quieter existence. Today, she resides in North Carolina and has shifted her focus to theater and teaching, reflecting a profound transformation from the glamorous star of yesteryears to a more grounded figure, embodying the complexities of life beyond the screen. Mara Wilson. Mara Wilson, once a beloved child star known for her roles in films like Matilda and Mrs. Doubtfire, has chosen a path far removed from the Hollywood spotlight that defined her early years. During her peak, she captivated audiences with her charm and talent, but the pressures of fame took a toll, prompting her to step back from acting in her teenage years. Today, she embraces a quieter existence, focusing on writing and advocating for mental health awareness. Wilson's journey reflects a conscious decision to prioritize her well-being over public perception, allowing her to redefine success on her own terms while remaining an influential voice in discussions about childhood stardom. Barbara Eden. In the 1960s, Barbara Eden enchanted audiences as the whimsical and enchanting Jeannie in the beloved sitcom I Dream of Jeannie, embodying the playful spirit of a generation. However, after her iconic role, Eden chose to step back from the relentless pace of Hollywood, prioritizing family and personal fulfillment over fame. Today, at 91, she embraces a quieter life, occasionally sharing her journey through memoirs and appearances that reflect her rich experiences beyond the screen. While her portrayal of Jeannie remains a cherished memory, Eden's true legacy lies in her resilience and the grace with which she navigated the complexities of fame and personal life. Lynda Carter. In the late 1970s, Lynda Carter became an icon as Wonder Woman, her striking beauty and fierce portrayal of the superhero captivating audiences and solidifying her status in pop culture. However, as the years passed, Carter chose to shift her focus away from the relentless demands of Hollywood fame, prioritizing her family and personal well-being instead. Today, she embraces a quieter life, often sharing her passion for music and advocacy, particularly in support of mental health awareness. While she may no longer dominate the screen, her legacy as a trailblazer for strong female characters continues to resonate, reminding us of the power of reinvention and the importance of choosing one's own path. Tracy Gold. In the late 1980s, Tracy Gold became a household name as the beloved Carol Seaver on the hit sitcom Growing Pains, captivating audiences with her charm and relatable teenage struggles. However, after the show concluded in 1992, Gold faced personal challenges, including health issues related to an eating disorder, which led her to prioritize her well-being over her acting career. Today, she is an advocate for mental health and body positivity, using her platform to raise awareness and support others facing similar battles. While her presence in Hollywood has diminished, Gold's journey reflects a profound transformation, reminding us that true success often lies in self-acceptance and advocacy rather than fame. Peter Billingsley. For many who grew up in the 1980s, Peter Billingsley is forever etched in memory as Ralphie Parker, the wide-eyed boy yearning for a Red Ryder BB gun in the holiday classic A Christmas Story. This role defined his childhood and catapulted him into the hearts of families across America. However, after a successful early career in acting, Billingsley chose to pivot away from the limelight, focusing instead on producing and directing, contributing to projects like Iron Man and The Breakup. Today, he embraces a quieter life, often stepping back from public appearances, yet remains a beloved figure whose early work continues to resonate, reminding us of the nostalgia of childhood innocence. Olivia Newton-John. In the 1970s and 80s, Olivia Newton-John was a cultural icon, celebrated for her enchanting voice and memorable roles in films like Grease, which solidified her status as a beloved star. However, as the decades passed, her focus shifted away from the limelight, largely due to her personal health battles, including her well-publicized fight against breast cancer. Today, she is remembered not just for her musical and acting achievements, but for her advocacy work, promoting health awareness and wellness. While her public appearances became less frequent, her legacy continues to inspire many, reflecting a life that embraced both fame and the importance of personal well-being. Greta Garbo. In the silent film era, Greta Garbo emerged as a captivating presence, most notably in her role in Anna Karenina, where her ethereal beauty and intense performances left audiences spellbound. However, in the early 1940s, she made the surprising choice to retire from acting, seeking solace and privacy away from the relentless gaze of Hollywood. Now, decades later, Garbo remains a figure shrouded in mystery, having largely withdrawn from public life, choosing instead to cultivate a legacy of intrigue and artistry that continues to inspire filmmakers and actors alike. Her deliberate retreat from fame invites reflection on the personal costs of celebrity and the value of self-preservation. Karen Allen. Karen Allen first captivated audiences as the spirited Marion Ravenwood in the iconic Indiana Jones series, a role that solidified her place in Hollywood during the 1980s. However, after years in the spotlight, she chose to step back from mainstream cinema, focusing instead on theater and independent films, where she felt a deeper connection to her craft. Now, Allen embraces a more private life, often engaging in artistic projects that reflect her values and passions, including her work as a director and producer. Today, she is recognized not just for her early fame, but for her commitment to meaningful storytelling, demonstrating that a fulfilling career can take many forms beyond the limelight. Daniel Day-Lewis. In the 1990s and early 2000s, Daniel Day-Lewis captivated audiences with his immersive performances in films like My Left Foot and There Will Be Blood, earning accolades and a reputation as one of the most dedicated actors of his generation. However, after his Oscar win in 2013 for Lincoln, Day-Lewis announced his retirement from acting, a choice that surprised many and left a void in the cinematic landscape. Today, he remains a figure of intrigue, living a more private life in Ireland, where he is known to pursue interests in woodworking and craftsmanship. His departure from the screen invites reflection on the nature of artistry and the personal journeys that shape it, leaving a profound impact on both fans and the film industry. Jack Gleason. In the vibrant world of television, Jack Gleason became a household name for his chilling portrayal of Joffrey Baratheon in the acclaimed series Game of Thrones. This role, marked by its intensity and complexity, catapulted him into the spotlight, where he was often recognized as a formidable young actor. However, after the show's conclusion, Gleason made a conscious choice to step away from acting, citing a desire for a more private life and a focus on his education. Now, he is pursuing academic interests and engaging in theater, embracing a quieter existence while leaving behind the image of a villain to explore new avenues of creativity and personal fulfillment. Bridget Fonda. Bridget Fonda first captured the spotlight with her memorable performance in the 1992 film Single White Female, where her portrayal of a woman caught in a web of obsession resonated with audiences. However, after a string of successful roles throughout the 90s, including Jackie Brown and The Godfather Part 3, she chose to retreat from the public eye in the early 2000s, prioritizing family and personal well-being over fame. Today, Fonda enjoys a life away from Hollywood, often spotted in her hometown of Los Angeles, where she embraces a quieter existence. Her decision to step back has allowed her to cultivate a legacy that emphasizes the importance of personal choice and the value of privacy in an industry that often demands the opposite. Lisa Whelchel. In the 1980s, Lisa Whelchel was a familiar face as Blair Warner on the beloved sitcom The Facts of Life, embodying the quintessential high school cheerleader with charm and confidence. However, she chose to step away from acting in the 1990s to focus on her family and pursue a career as an author and motivational speaker, embracing a quieter path that prioritized her personal life over public visibility. Today, Whelchel is known for her work in writing and her involvement in faith-based communities, reflecting a transformation from a teen star to a respected voice in parenting and personal growth. Her journey reminds us that leaving the limelight can lead to fulfilling new chapters. Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly, the enchanting actress known for her captivating performances in films like Rear Window and To Catch a Thief, was a symbol of glamour during Hollywood's golden age. However, her life took a dramatic turn in 1956 when she married Prince Rainier III of Monaco, leaving behind her illustrious acting career for royal duties. This transition was met with both admiration and scrutiny, as the public grappled with the idea of a beloved star embracing a life of service. Today, Grace Kelly's legacy endures not only through her iconic films, but also as a beloved figure in Monaco's history, remembered for her elegance and grace in both her cinematic and royal roles. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. What happens when a rising star decides to step back from the limelight? Jonathan Taylor Thomas, known for his role as the charming Randy Taylor on the beloved sitcom Home Improvement, was a fixture in the 1990s, captivating audiences with his boyish charm and quick wit. However, after a successful career in television and film, he chose to prioritize education and personal growth, stepping away from acting in the early 2000s. Now, Thomas has embraced a quieter life, focusing on directing and voice work, while maintaining a low profile. His journey serves as a poignant reminder that sometimes, the most profound transformations occur when one chooses to seek fulfillment beyond fame. Rick Schroder. In the 1980s, Rick Schroder was a familiar face to millions, known for his role as the charming child star in the hit series Silver Spoons. With his boyish good looks and undeniable talent, he became a symbol of youthful optimism in Hollywood. However, as he transitioned into adulthood, Schroder sought a life beyond the relentless scrutiny of fame, ultimately stepping back from the limelight to focus on family and personal interests. Today, he embraces a more understated existence, occasionally appearing in film and television, while also dedicating time to charitable work and his passion for directing. This evolution highlights a journey towards authenticity, reminding us that the pursuit of happiness often leads us away from the spotlight. Laurie Singer. In the vibrant world of the 1980s, Laurie Singer was a household name, captivating audiences as the rebellious cellist in the iconic film Footloose. Her striking presence and talent made her a defining figure of the era, yet she chose to pivot away from the relentless pace of Hollywood. Now, years later, Singer has embraced a quieter life, focusing on her passion for music and theater, while also exploring her interests in the visual arts. This shift not only showcases her multifaceted talents, but also highlights her desire for a more personal connection to her craft. Laurie Singer's journey reminds us that legacy can be shaped by choices that prioritize authenticity over fame. Kelly LeBrock. Kelly LeBrock first gained fame in the 1980s as the iconic model and actress in films like Weird Science, where her portrayal of a computer-generated dream girl captivated audiences. However, after a string of successful roles, she chose to step back from the limelight in the 1990s, prioritizing her family life and personal well-being. Today, LeBrock leads a more private existence, focusing on her health and wellness while occasionally engaging with fans through social media. Though her Hollywood presence has diminished, she remains a beloved figure from that era, reflecting a journey of self-discovery beyond the glitz and glamour of fame. Phoebe Cates. Once a defining figure of the 1980s teen film landscape, Phoebe Cates became synonymous with iconic roles in movies like Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Gremlins, where her charm captivated audiences and solidified her status as a Hollywood star. Yet, amid the pressures of fame and public scrutiny, Cates chose to step back from acting in the early 1990s, prioritizing family life and personal fulfillment over the relentless demands of celebrity. Today, she is known for her quiet presence and role as a successful entrepreneur, running a boutique in New York City, far removed from the spotlight that once shone so brightly on her. Jeremy Miller. Jeremy Miller first captured the public's attention as the lovable middle child, Ben Seaver, on the beloved sitcom Growing Pains, which aired in the late 1980s and early 1990s. However, his journey took a turn as he faced personal struggles, including a well-documented battle with substance abuse, which he openly addressed in the years following the show's conclusion. Today, Miller embraces a quieter life, focusing on wellness and family while occasionally stepping back into the public eye through acting and motivational speaking. His evolution from child star to a figure of resilience highlights a path of growth and self-discovery, resonating with those who have navigated similar challenges. Susan Dey. In the 1970s, Susan Dey became a household name as the star of The Partridge Family, captivating audiences with her charm and youthful spirit. As the years passed, Dey chose to step back from the relentless pace of Hollywood, prioritizing her health and personal life over fame. This decision allowed her to explore diverse roles, including a critically acclaimed performance in L.A. Law, but she gradually retreated from the public eye. Now, she lives a more private life, cherishing her family and the memories of her groundbreaking career. Dey's journey serves as a poignant reminder of the choices many make in pursuit of fulfillment beyond the limelight. Debra Winger. What drives someone to step back from a life in the limelight? In the 1980s and 90s, Debra Winger was a prominent figure in Hollywood, known for her powerful performances in films like Terms of Endearment and An Officer and a Gentleman. However, after a series of acclaimed roles, she chose to prioritize her family and personal well-being, stepping away from the relentless demands of fame. Today, Winger leads a more private life, focusing on projects that resonate with her, such as independent films and theater work. Her journey reflects a profound shift, reminding us that sometimes the most important role one can play is that of oneself, away from the spotlight. Tina Yothers. What happens when a young star chooses a different path? In the 1980s, Tina Yothers captured attention as the spirited Jennifer Keaton on the hit sitcom Family Ties, embodying the essence of youthful exuberance. Yet, as the years passed, Yothers stepped away from the frenetic pace of Hollywood, opting instead for a more private life focused on family and personal well-being. Today, she embraces a quieter existence, engaging in music and art while prioritizing her health and the joy of motherhood. This transformation invites reflection on the choices we make, revealing that sometimes, stepping back can lead to a more fulfilling and authentic life. Tammy Stronach. What happens when a child star chooses to step back from the limelight? Tammy Stronach, known for her enchanting role as the childlike empress in the beloved 1984 film The Never-Ending Story, captured the imaginations of many during her peak. However, as she matured, Stronach shifted her focus from acting to pursue a career in dance and later, education. Today, she embraces a life dedicated to creativity and storytelling, often sharing her passion through theatrical projects and workshops. This transformation highlights a poignant journey of self-discovery, reminding us that stepping away from fame can lead to a richer, more fulfilling existence beyond the screen. Carrie Hinn. In 1986, Carrie Hinn captivated audiences as Newt in the iconic sci-fi film Aliens, a role that made her an unforgettable part of cinematic history. However, after that early success, Hinn chose to step away from acting, prioritizing her education and personal life over the demands of Hollywood. Now, she is a teacher and a mother, living a life largely removed from the glitz of her childhood fame. Reflecting on her past, Hinn embraces her role as an educator, sharing her passion for learning and fostering creativity in her students. This shift from the screen to the classroom illustrates her commitment to a fulfilling life beyond the spotlight. Freddie Prinze Jr. In the late 1990s, Freddie Prinze Jr. was the face of teen romance, starring in iconic films like She's All That and I Know What You Did Last Summer, where his charm and boyish good looks made him a household name. However, as the years went by, he chose to step back from the relentless pace of Hollywood, prioritizing his family life and personal interests, including a passion for cooking and voice acting. Today, Prinze Jr. embraces a more private existence, focusing on his roles as a husband and father while occasionally returning to the screen in projects that reflect his evolving passions. His journey serves as a reminder that success can be redefined beyond the glitz and glamour of fame. Alicia Silverstone. Alicia Silverstone burst onto the scene in the 1990s, captivating audiences as the iconic Cher Horowitz in Clueless, a role that defined a generation and solidified her status as a pop culture phenomenon. However, as the years passed, Silverstone gradually shifted her focus away from Hollywood, embracing a quieter life centered around her family and activism, particularly in veganism and animal rights. Today, she is less visible on the silver screen, often sharing her insights on wellness and sustainability through social media and public speaking. This transformation from a beloved teen star to a passionate advocate highlights a deliberate choice to prioritize personal values over fame, reshaping her legacy for a new era. Angus T. Jones. Angus T. Jones was once best known as the charming child star of 2.5 Men, captivating audiences with his comedic timing and relatable character. However, in 2012, he made headlines for expressing a desire to leave the show, citing personal beliefs and a shift in priorities that clashed with the series' content. Fast forward to today, and Jones has largely stepped out of the public eye, focusing on his education and personal growth. He now engages in projects that align more closely with his values, illustrating a profound transformation from the young actor once synonymous with a hit sitcom to a man seeking a more meaningful existence beyond Hollywood's glitz. Jami Gertz. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Jami Gertz was a familiar face on television and in films, known for her roles in popular series like Square Pegs and The Lost Boys, where her vibrant presence and youthful charm captivated audiences. However, as her career progressed, Gertz chose to step back from the relentless pace of Hollywood, focusing instead on her family and philanthropic efforts, particularly in education and community development. Now, she is recognized not just for her past performances, but for her commitment to giving back, embodying a quieter yet impactful role in the public eye, which contrasts starkly with her earlier days of fame. Cameron Diaz. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Cameron Diaz was a dominant force in Hollywood, known for her roles in iconic films like There's Something About Mary and Charlie's Angels, where her infectious energy and charisma made her a household name. However, after nearly 2 decades in the spotlight, Diaz chose to step back from acting to focus on personal growth, family, and her business ventures, including a successful line of organic wines. Now, she embraces a more private life, often sharing insights on wellness and motherhood, which underscores her evolution from a vibrant star to a thoughtful entrepreneur. This transition highlights her legacy as someone who prioritized authenticity over fame. Kirk Cameron. In the realm of family-friendly television, Kirk Cameron was a household name, best known for his role as Mike Seaver on the popular sitcom Growing Pains during the late 1980s and early 1990s. As fame enveloped him, the pressures of public life became increasingly evident, leading him to reassess his priorities. Today, Cameron has shifted his focus towards faith-based projects and family life, stepping back from mainstream Hollywood to embrace a quieter existence centered on his beliefs and values. While he remains active in the public eye through various Christian initiatives, his journey reflects a conscious choice to redefine success on his own terms, prioritizing personal fulfillment over celebrity status. Meg Tilly. In the late 1980s, Meg Tilly captivated audiences with her performances in films like The Big Chill and Psycho 2, earning an Academy Award nomination that solidified her status as a rising star. However, after a successful yet tumultuous career, she chose to prioritize her family and personal well-being, stepping away from the Hollywood limelight. Today, Tilly has embraced a quieter life as an author, writing novels that reflect her experiences and inner world. While her screen image evoked glamour and drama, her current life reveals a woman dedicated to storytelling and authenticity, illustrating a profound shift from the pressures of fame to the fulfillment found in creative freedom. Julia Stiles. Julia Stiles first captured the public's attention in the early 2000s with her standout roles in iconic films like 10 Things I Hate About You and Save the Last Dance, where her sharp wit and relatable charm defined a generation of teen cinema. However, after a successful run, she gradually shifted her focus away from Hollywood's glare, opting for more intimate projects and prioritizing her personal life, including her family. Now, Stiles embraces a quieter existence, balancing motherhood with selective acting roles, such as her recent work in the acclaimed series Riviera. This transition highlights her desire to forge a path that aligns more closely with her values, illustrating the profound difference between her early public persona and her current life. Noah Hathaway. In the enchanting world of 1980s cinema, Noah Hathaway became a household name, captivating audiences as Atreyu in The Never-Ending Story. His youthful charm and memorable performances solidified his status as a beloved star. However, as the years progressed, Hathaway chose to step back from the relentless demands of Hollywood, seeking a more grounded existence. Today, he embraces a life enriched by his passion for martial arts and a deep appreciation for family. While he may not grace the silver screen as frequently, his legacy endures through the nostalgia of his iconic roles, reminding us that the pursuit of fulfillment can often lead to a more meaningful path beyond fame. David Caruso. Once a familiar face on television, David Caruso became a household name through his role as Detective Horatio Kane in the long-running series CSI: Miami, known for his intense delivery and signature sunglasses. However, after achieving significant fame, Caruso chose to step back from the relentless pace of Hollywood, seeking a more private life and focusing on personal interests outside of acting. Today, he has largely retreated from the public eye, occasionally appearing in smaller projects and prioritizing his family and personal well-being. This shift reflects a conscious decision to redefine his identity beyond the pressures of fame, allowing him to cultivate a quieter existence away from the scrutiny of celebrity culture. Thora Birch. In the 1990s, Thora Birch was a familiar face in Hollywood, celebrated for her roles in films like American Beauty and Ghost World, where her talent shone alongside a youthful, rebellious spirit. However, as the years passed, Birch chose to pivot away from the mainstream, seeking a more personal and fulfilling path that prioritized her well-being and creativity over fame. Today, she has embraced a more private life, returning to the screen in independent films and theater, while also engaging in projects that resonate with her artistic vision. Birch's journey serves as a poignant reminder that success can be redefined, allowing for growth beyond the expectations of a once glamorous career. Jennette McCurdy. Jennette McCurdy first gained fame as the spirited Sam Puckett on the beloved Nickelodeon series iCarly, where her comedic talent and distinct personality resonated with a generation of viewers. However, after years of navigating the pressures of child stardom, she made the bold decision to step away from acting, citing a desire for privacy and a shift in her personal priorities. Today, McCurdy has embraced a new path as a writer and director, sharing her experiences through her memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died, which offers an honest look at her life in the spotlight. Her journey serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities behind fame and the importance of self-discovery. Pam Dawber. In the vibrant 1980s, Pam Dawber was a household name, best known for her role on the hit sitcom Mork and Mindy, where her charm and comedic timing endeared her to millions. However, after a successful career in television, she chose to step back from the limelight to focus on family and personal projects, a decision that surprised many fans. Today, Dawber embraces a quieter life, occasionally returning to acting with select roles that reflect her evolving interests. Her legacy is not just in her iconic performances, but in her choice to prioritize authenticity and family over fame, reminding us that true fulfillment often lies beyond the public eye. Gene Hackman. What drives a celebrated actor to step away from the limelight? Gene Hackman, once a dominant force in Hollywood, captivated audiences with roles in classics like The French Connection and Unforgiven, earning 2 Academy Awards and a reputation as one of the finest actors of his generation. However, after his retirement in the early 2000s, Hackman chose a life of relative obscurity, focusing on writing and enjoying time with family. Today, he remains a figure of admiration, not just for his cinematic achievements, but for his decision to prioritize personal peace over fame. In a world that often demands more, Hackman's quiet departure serves as a poignant reminder of the value of solitude and reflection. Michael Schoeffling. In the 1980s, Michael Schoeffling emerged as a heartthrob through his role as Jake Ryan in the iconic film 16 Candles, capturing the essence of youthful romance and charm. However, after achieving significant fame, he chose to leave Hollywood behind, prioritizing family life and a quieter existence. This decision followed a period of intense public scrutiny and the desire for privacy as the industry shifted. Today, Schoeffling is known for his work as a skilled carpenter and furniture maker, living away from the limelight in Pennsylvania. His choice to step back from acting has led to a redefined legacy, one that reflects personal fulfillment over fame. Lisa Bonet. In the 1980s, Lisa Bonet emerged as a groundbreaking figure on The Cosby Show, captivating audiences with her free-spirited portrayal of Denise Huxtable, a young woman who embraced individuality and style. However, Bonet's journey took a significant turn as she chose to prioritize her personal life and family over the relentless demands of Hollywood. Today, she lives a more private existence, focusing on her children and exploring creative projects that resonate with her values. While she may no longer dominate the screens, Bonet's influence endures, reminding us that true fulfillment often lies beyond the limelight. Sean Connery. In recent years, Sean Connery's legacy has shifted from the glamorous allure of his iconic role as James Bond to a more subdued public perception, marked by his preference for privacy and a retreat from the limelight. During the height of his fame, Connery was synonymous with suave sophistication, captivating audiences with his charisma and distinguished presence in films. However, after stepping away from acting in the early 2000s, he chose to focus on personal interests and family life, opting for a quieter existence away from the relentless pressures of celebrity. Today, Connery is remembered not just for his remarkable contributions to cinema, but for his deliberate choice to prioritize his peace over public adoration. Shelley Duvall. In the late 1970s, Shelley Duvall was a distinctive figure in cinema, best known for her unforgettable role as Wendy Torrance in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, where her haunting performance left an indelible mark on horror history. However, after a series of eclectic roles throughout the 1980s, Duvall chose to retreat from Hollywood, citing a desire for privacy and a shift in personal priorities. Today, she lives a much quieter life, having largely stepped away from acting and public appearances, focusing instead on her well-being and art. Though her absence from the screen is felt, her unique contributions to film continue to resonate, reminding audiences of a time when her artistry was at the forefront of cinematic innovation. Doris Day. What drives a star to turn away from the limelight? In the height of her fame, Doris Day was the embodiment of sunny optimism, captivating audiences with her enchanting voice and irresistible charm in films like Pillow Talk. However, as the years passed, she chose to step back from the silver screen, prioritizing her well-being and animal advocacy over public adoration. Today, her legacy is not just defined by her cinematic achievements, but also by her quiet dedication to animal rights. Though she left Hollywood behind, Day's spirit endures, reminding us that true fulfillment often lies beyond the glitz and glamour, in the simple joys of life and compassion for others. Audrey Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn, a luminous star of classic cinema, enchanted audiences with her performances in films like Breakfast at Tiffany's and Roman Holiday. Yet, by the early 1990s, she faced a public battle with health issues, which ultimately led her to shift her focus from acting to humanitarian work. Embracing her role as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador, Hepburn dedicated her later years to advocating for children in need, leaving behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Today, she is remembered not only for her iconic roles, but also for her profound impact on global humanitarian efforts, a testament to her enduring legacy that transcends the silver screen. Geena Davis. Geena Davis first captivated audiences with her unforgettable performance in the 1988 film Beetlejuice, showcasing her unique blend of charm and wit. As her career flourished through the 1990s with hits like A League of Their Own, Davis became a household name. Yet her journey took a significant turn as she faced the challenges of Hollywood's gender dynamics and her own aspirations for change. In recent years, she has shifted her focus towards advocacy for women in film, founding the Geena Davis Institute on Gender in Media. Today, her legacy is not just defined by her iconic roles, but also by her commitment to fostering inclusivity and representation in the entertainment industry. Morgan Fairchild. Morgan Fairchild once epitomized the glamorous life of a Hollywood starlet, captivating audiences with her roles in popular soap operas and primetime dramas during the 1980s. With her striking looks and undeniable talent, she became a symbol of the era's beauty standards and a fixture in the public eye. However, as the pressure of fame intensified, Fairchild chose to prioritize her personal well-being and privacy over relentless public scrutiny. Today, she embraces a more subdued role, engaging in advocacy work and maintaining a presence on social media while reflecting on her storied career. Her journey illustrates a conscious decision to find balance, transforming from a household name to a respected figure who values authenticity over adoration. Rick Moranis. In the 1980s and 90s, Rick Moranis was a beloved figure in comedy, known for his memorable roles in films like Ghostbusters and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, where his endearing charm and comedic timing made him a household name. However, after the tragic loss of his wife in 1991, Moranis chose to prioritize his family and stepped back from his flourishing career, seeking a life away from the relentless demands of Hollywood. Today, he remains a cherished icon, having made a brief return to acting in recent years, but his decision to embrace privacy over fame continues to resonate, reminding us of the importance of personal choices amidst the glitz of celebrity.